Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. I thought today we would make a card using Pink Fresh Studios Classic Correspondence Suite. And this is just adorable. I am loving these images. Then you've got some scripty font sentiments along with some sub-sentiments that are just in regular text. And this is so cute. So you can purchase the stamp set, the coordinating stencils, the hot foil plate, and the die set. We are not using the stamp set because I did hot foil our image, and we will be using the stencils and the die. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my stencils here, and I already hot foiled my image, and I've hot foiled that in champagne, and I just love how that came out. That is just beautiful. I love that image. The lines are so crisp and clean when you hot foil. So I've got my sticky mat here, and today I am using my Altenew. What is it? It's the low-tech sticky mat, and it just works perfect. So our stencil set is a 5-piece stencil set. We are going to start with number 1. That's good right there. So for my stamps, you can see they have the little corrugated line around them, but I want to color that in. I want to have a little bit of definition on the edge of the stamp. So I've got a piece of masking tape. I just cut it off, and I'm just going to line this masking tape up here. Everything that I use today will be listed and linked in the description below. And then I can color in that little bit of area. So we do need to mask because I don't want to get ink where I don't want it in the other areas. Today we will be using Grassy Knoll and Olive, Hydrangea and Opulence, Sky Blue, Sunshine, and Misty Coast. So for this stamp, I want that to be a little bit of hydrangea. So I am going to bring in that ink. I'm going to tap off, and I'm just going to lightly color that in. And I am trying to be very light-handed. I have a heavy hand, and I don't want this to be too dark. I am kind of like a bull in a china shop, and I just go to town, and I want it a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to lightly color that in. Then we can take this tape and turn it. So then we will just take it, flip it around, and then we can color in this other side. Get that pressed down, and then we can do the other area, and that's perfect. Now we can work on our other stamp. So for my other stamp, we are going to use our green. So let's do the same thing. We're going to protect this one. And then we will just line this up. And you can see I've got that masking tape just right up against that foiled line. Now I'm going to bring in some Grassy Knoll and just repeat the process just on the other stamp in a different color. Then I can peel that off and just place it on the other corner. And it was that easy to color in that stamp. I just love that added little detail there. So I want to keep this a little bit light with a lot of shading. So I'm bringing back in my hydrangea, and let's mask off our washi tape and our ink. I'm going to bring in hydrangea, and I'm using my big brush. I love these really big brushes because you can get a nice light coating of ink really effortlessly. Just like that. I just want that nice light coating of ink. Then we can bring in our opulence, and we're just going to go around the edge for some highlights. I hope everyone is having a fabulous day. The clouds are kind of rolling in here. I'm not sure what kind of a day we're going to have for weather here. There we go. I think that is good. And then we can take and wipe this off. I've been wiping my ink off after every application, after every image, because I don't want to risk getting ink into another area. So we could bring in our brush again and just do our washi and the inkwell really lightly. And my washi, I'm not going to highlight, but I am going to highlight my inkwell just a little bit here, my ink bottle around the edges with the opulence. Not too heavy, just a little bit. Just like that, just for a little definition. And you know what? Let's add a little bit more hydrangea to our washi. I think that's good. I do need to add a little bit of color to this stamp. I'm going to just kind of very gently add a little bit of green around those edges, just like that. Then we've got our tag down here. I will be making that yellow, and I've got sunshine for that. I don't want it too dark. I think that's probably good enough. And these stencils go really quickly. See, we're already done with our first stencil. So for stencil number 2, I am going to do the same thing on my big envelope. I want a light coating of hydrangea on that. So I'll be using my big brush again. You can get the lightest coating of ink and it is just effortless. I love these big brushes. I think that's good. And then we'll do the same thing. We're going to come in with our opulence and just highlight around the edges. And I do like to hold down pieces like this little piece here covering the tag. I do like to put my finger on that just to keep it in place so I don't accidentally get ink underneath it. And I think that's good. I just want the illusion of it being darker around the edges. For my little band on my pen and then the cap on my ink, I will be using Misty Coast. That will kind of give it like a white look almost. Once this ink settles into that paper, it will dry pretty light. Then we've got the little flowers here. I will be adding sunshine for those. Then we've got some grass and the sun. I will also be using sunshine on that sun, but I'm going to be really careful. Then I will wipe that off, and we're going to come in with grassy knoll. And we can always use a little piece of paper to cover that up, just so we don't accidentally get in that other area. Oh, I forgot the tip of our pen here. I will also be doing that in Misty Coast. And then we've got part of our scissors here. I want to make that really dark, so I am going in super heavy with opulence. And then I will also bring in just a little bit of opulence up here on the washi. So let's see what we got. And those images are coming along so pretty. It's really, really quick. So we've got stencil number 3. Let's mask off our stamps first, because we are going to do the same thing on the flap for our envelope. We're going to come in really light and then add the highlights just around those edges. Then we can come in with our olive. I've got olive here, and I'm going to use that for the leaves on my stamp, the tree, and then the other hillside, and then also the ribbon on my book. And just like that, stencil number 3 is done. Let's see what we've got. Oh, that is looking so pretty. Oh my goodness. Stencil number 4. And this stencil does the flowers on our washi and our notebook, the flowers on our stamp, and then the sky on our other stamp. So for the handles on my scissors on this part, I will be using hydrangea. I want this to be a little bit lighter. Let's mask that off. So let's do our sky first. For our sky on our stamp, I am using sky blue. And then for our flowers, I think we'll do those blue also. I didn't know if we should do them purple, but I think the little pop of blue will be really pretty. So I need to make sure to mask off my stamps because we are coming in with really dark ink for everything else except for our scissors. For the blades on our scissors, we will be using Misty Coast. Now we are coming in really heavy-handed with our opulence on our pen, the flowers on our washi, the flowers on our notebook, and our bottle of ink. So you can see I went really heavy on that bottle, on my pen, and the flowers, and that is coming along beautifully. I did add a little bit of green for the ribbon, so it matched. Now this is our final stencil, and this is mostly green. We've got a little bit of hydrangea, but mostly green for our leaves. There we go, that's perfect. So I'm not even going to ink up my brush here. Well, I do need to. We didn't have enough ink on there. I just want a little bit of hydrangea on that pen. And then we need a little bit of grassy knoll on that other tree. And then olive. We need olive for everything else. And just like that, we are all done ink blending. And that came out so cute. I just love that. Now we can bring in our die. And we can go ahead and get that cut out. And these images just pop right out of here. I've got a little bit of tape on there. So now that all of our images are complete, we can start assembling. So I brought in my nested rectangles postage edge dies. You know, I thought that would be perfect since we've got postage stamps and it's like a little correspondence. And then for my background, I didn't want it to just be plain. You really can't see the writing, but this is an embossing folder from Penny Black, and it's got handwriting on there. I ran my panel through the embossing folder, and it just gives it a little something extra. It's almost like a handwritten letter on there, so I've cut that out, sized to fit right inside my postage die here. And what I like to do is I've got some double-sided tape on the back of that, and I just fold up the pieces on opposite corners. I just fold those back and make sure they stick out so you can see them in the front, because then I'm just going to take this and I am just going to place this on my die cut, and I can line that up. And once that is lined up, I'm going to push my two corners down, hold it in place, and then I can pull those backing pieces off. And I know that that panel is nice and lined up. So here I was a little unsure about how I wanted everything laid out, but I played with it several different times, and I think this gives the best vantage point of being able to see all of our pieces and parts. I'm going to put my stamps up in the corner. Then we've got our ink bottle, our washi, our scissors, and our pen. And so I'm going to go ahead and get some foam tape behind my stamps, my washi, and my ink, and my scissors. So I'm gluing down directly to my panel, my little notebook here, and I want it to hang over just a little bit off of that edge. Then we'll put our envelope in the other corner. So what have you been working on? What kind of a project is everybody working on lately? Are you scrapbooking? Are you making cards? Or have you just kind of been taking a little break and just watching videos? Sometimes I do that. I get a lot of inspiration from watching videos. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of this card. And I'm getting excited for our trip to Minnesota. I'm starting to make all of our travel arrangements for my class that I will be doing at Firefly Farm in June. It's still not on her website yet, but as soon as it is, I will post a link to that. It is a virtual event. I think that's straight. It might be a little crooked. Oh well, not much we can do right now. So then let's add our ink. And I'm just going to kind of, that one's going to stay pretty straight. We've got our ink there. I do need to figure out where we're going to put our pen and our scissors. That's perfect. And then our pen, we can glue directly down. I've got foam tape behind my panel. I'm just going to get this on my card base as straight as I can. I do have a crooked eye. There we go. Now we are ready for our sentiment. I wasn't sure which color I wanted to use for gems, but I think we're going to go with the gold pearls. I think that is going to look super nice. And for our sentiment, I wasn't sure if we should go with white and black foil or black with gold foil. And I think that one is my pick. I think we're going to go with the black sentiment and gold foil. That came out super cute. And I've got foam tape on the back of that. We will be needing our ruler to make sure that sentiment is straight. And I think that's good. It looks a little crooked, but I know it's not because I used my ruler. So let's get some pearls added on there. So I feel like I've been working with gold a lot lately, but you know what? This came out so cute. I really like that. I love the purple and the gold. We've got pearls on our notebook. I put a little pearl on the ink and a little pearl on the tag on the envelope, and that just came out so cute. So when I pulled this set out, I originally pulled it out because I needed a belated birthday card. We were traveling and all I took were thank you cards. I forgot to pack some birthday cards. So I've got that one. Then I've also got one here that I did in neutrals. So this is Seaside and Sky Blue, and then the greens. And then I've got one I did here in silver foil. I used the silver foil with my hot foil plate and then for my background. And then this one is Peony and Peach Fuzz and Warm Buff. And that one also came out super cute. But this is the one we made today. I am really liking that. Please be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.